Hey, Mike with D2D Millionaire here. And do you ever run into the objection when you're selling pest control of basically, can I try it once and just see how it goes? Well, in today's video, I want to answer how you can handle that concern and objection and move forward and still make a sale. So one thing to really keep in mind is that when you're selling anything, and especially door to door, you really want to know your product. One thing that sometimes sales reps run into is they get objections or concerns that they can't handle. And if they knew more about their product and they could actually educate their potential customer about it, a lot of times they could eliminate those objections and concerns and end up making the sale. And so again, when it comes to selling pest control, the concern and objection of, can I just try it once and see how it goes, falls into that category, where if you knew more about your products and how they actually worked, and then you could educate your customers on it, a lot of times you could simply eliminate this concern and objection. So again, one thing to understand is obviously having a long-term service agreement, a long-term contract with a customer is definitely better than a one-time treatment where you're going to earn more commissions. And then also at the same time, it's going to benefit your customers in the long run by actually having a multiple time treatment, especially when it comes to pest control, where again, a lot of people don't necessarily understand that there's life cycles that pests go through. And again, this is one thing you want to educate your potential customers on, where a lot of times you might do a treatment from your pest control service, and that can, kill off some of the active pests that are in your home, but there's really a life cycle that happens where you can't necessarily get everything, where sometimes there's nests where they've built up their numbers, where the first treatment might get rid of the active ones, but again, as the life cycle continues, those pests are going to hatch, and then they're going to just have another batch. And then at the same time, they need to understand that how the residual of pest control products actually works, right? Where again, obviously, if they're going with you, a professional pest control service, your products should be a higher quality than they could get over the counter, but at the same time, they still don't last forever, where you need to educate your potential customer on that, where your products definitely have a better residual life, where they might last 60 days or 90 days, or again, your products that you put out around their home are going to deal better with the elements like the weather, rain, different things like that than they would getting some type of over-the-counter product, pest control. But at the same time, again, educate them that your products don't last forever, where sure, they can do a one-time treatment and that might help a little bit, but again, as soon as that residual wears off, 60, 90 days out, they're going to start to experience pest issues again. So it's nothing against your company or again what you're doing, it's just the fact of the matter is that's how pest control products work. You can't just treat once and then solve everything magically. That it's a process and it's going to take time, and when you're consistent with it, you can certainly reduce a lot of the numbers and keep it for the most part pest free. But again, there's no real magic bullet. And again, setting that proper expectations for your potential customers can do a lot, where again, you don't want to sign people up and be like, oh yeah, sure, get this one-time treatment, it's going to fix everything. You don't want to mislead people, because what happens to that is they get one treatment, they're like, oh, I still have pest issues, or I'm still seeing bugs. Again, that's not how it works. It's a process that takes time to completely eliminate things or get it to a number that you're happy with. But again, if they have that improper expectation that it's just going to magically fix everything with one treatment, you're going to get a lot of cancellations on your hands. So up front, it might seem good. You might be, rolling in a bunch of sales and thinking you're crushing it. But, a couple months, 6 months down the road, you're going to have a lot of cancellations and a lot of chargebacks. And that's definitely not fun. You don't want to have your commissions being eaten away from something like that, where you could have just easily educated your potential customer and explained how things really work to get a lot better results. So that's one thing to really keep in mind and focus on, is that you want to set proper expectations with your potential customer. On top of that, if they're concerned along with that, maybe if they just want a one-time treatment because they're concerned with the price, or they don't want to have a long-term service agreement or contract, something else you can do is just water down the price, where it might seem overwhelming if you're talking about a year-long service or multi-year service. Maybe it's $1,000, $2,000, $500, right? Whatever the case might be, depending on your company. But for example, let's say it was $1,000 for that year treatment and you do quarterly treatment. So instead of positioning it as that $1,000, let's say you broke it down how often you did treatments. So let's say your company did that quarterly. So again, it'd only be $250 a treatment. Or again, you could water that down even further and talk about, what it would be on a monthly basis. So that could be around like $84 to, again, treat their home and make sure that they're reducing pest numbers, pest free, different things like that. It's going to take time to do that, but again, it only really breaks down to $84 a month to, drastically reduce and almost eliminate all the pest issues that they have going on. That'd be worth it, right? So again, as you water it down, it becomes a lot more reasonable than that huge chunk. And again, you could do that further. You could talk about how much it would be a day. It's probably a couple bucks a day, again, to get the results that they're looking for and cast that long-term vision of what they can actually achieve by using your service. So again, if you run into people asking about can they just try your product and service once, focus on education, explain to them how pest control products and services really work in the life cycles of pests. And then again, you can also water down the price of your service agreement into smaller increments and break that down over time to, again, show them it's a lot more reasonable and they think of getting that one chunk at a time, long-term service agreement. So again, hopefully you guys got some benefit and value out of this video. If you did, feel free to comment and share. And then if you do happen to be in door-to-door sales or marketing, be sure to head on over to ddmillionaire.com. Just enter your information there to get access to our free podcast training on how to avoid the 5 most common reasons why sales reps fail in door-to-door sales. So again, if you're struggling, you're not making the income you want to make, or maybe you just want this year to be your best year yet, again, be sure to head on over to ddmillionaire.com, fill out that form, and get access to that free training. But thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you more soon.